Is that a good old face?
Everything's good.
Okay. So yeah, for you Hearthstone players, gatherings are still going on apparently, and I need to jump on this because all you need to do is just if you have three people that have iOS devices, or if you have computers at home, a home network, you could technically have an iPad or iPhone, and then two computers on a home network, and then connect via wireless, and as long as they're on the same subnet, if you guys play together, all you have to do is have two of the three people play three games together, or just play three games total with the people that are on the subnet, and then you get the special card back. So I don't know when this is going to end. I hope they keep it going, but this is one way to take advantage of the fireside gathering, especially if they're not setting up any near you. But I think it'd still be cool if we did some locally, like you do one in Michigan, Obi, and I do one in Georgia.
Where?
I'm,
Right
I'm,
here?
I gotta get that. Yeah, in the palm of your
Right
hand.
here?
But they're asking what did we do with Chewie's body? That'd be a
I dumped him
body.
in the. Can you guys hear me now? By the way, I'll tell you, it wasn't a Twitch hiccup, but we dumped him in the hog pit around down the road. You know, because hogs eat everything, and we're gonna donate his teeth to a third world country, like Uganda or some shit.
I would think that if you're gonna be into a murdering thing, and I'm not saying I support this, but you probably don't want to go after big dudes because they'll be the hardest to drag somewhere and dispose of. You know, it's an aspect you don't see in video games covered enough. Like, I have a decision. I could whack this guy, but then I have to hide his body, and he's like 400 pounds, and I'm only like 120 soaking wet. I should probably think of another way of getting around here.
Yeah.
You know, there's not true realism in games. It's just they just decide to fix the graphics, but they don't add that kind of immersion and real logic. It kind of gets me. But anyway, they have a GameCube adapter for the Wii U, which I think is pretty neat. You know, Nintendo, if there's anything they do really well, it's accessories and kind of tie in their entire family of products. So, you know, I think this is kind of neat because I'm sure people that already have a Wii U have other Nintendo products, so they likely have a GameCube and a bunch of controllers laying around. So that means you can use a GameCube controllers on the Wii U. So that's brilliant. That's a good way to get more value out of your previous purchases, and it's a nice move on their part. So let's talk about Microsoft. I know you're a big fan about Microsoft, Obi. So the Microsoft refunds.
For those that aren't watching this, I just flipped him the fuck off. Thanks.
Oh, they know. I think they already know that if I get quiet and then some shit happens and then I giggle like a schoolgirl, you probably flip me off. That's kind of the shtick. But so they're doing the refunds for Xbox Live, and it's through the end of June, 7/14. It's frame of reference. So make sure you submit your request. There's ways to get it. It's very complicated. Basically, if you go to support.xbox.com, look at the Xbox Live membership live FAQ, frequently asked questions, and it talks about the changes to Xbox Live and how you could go about getting the refund. It's kind of buried in there, so it's kind of it makes me a little sad because it's kind of like Microsoft is making it so that it's hidden and you have to jump through hoops to do it. And they should do the opposite and make it be more transparent to create more confidence in them again. Because people are just trolling them too hard. And we're about to get into it. We're about to get into what Sony did to really pull a Microsoft this year. And people talking crap about Microsoft. Let's talk about what Sony did. But we'll get into that. Also, games and deals with Gold are on Xbox One now. So that's been long awaited for you Xbox One people out there. So you're getting the same love that 360 owners are getting. And they're really ramping up the games that are being offered there. So good stuff. Just in case we don't get into our deals for cheap bastards tonight, make sure you guys check out the Twitch Humble Bundle. You get this might be too late right now. And see, I had issues getting this because the Humble Bundle was getting slammed. And I hope it's not too late by the time people listen to this or people listen to it live, because the Humble Bundle comes with 1 month subscription to Twitch Turbo, It comes with a bunch of like games in it and add-ons for different like, other games, mostly MMOs. There's some really good stuff in there. I mean, it has some stuff for Smite. Just that alone makes it worth it. And it's only like the minimum you have to pay is like $2.50 or 2.36 to get all the stuff that comes in the bundle. But yeah, if you go to humblebundle.com/Twitch E3, you also get a pass to the some of the E3 stuff. And I think they're still doing stuff through Friday, aren't they, Obi?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. I think they did say the 13th.
Yeah. So another reason this was live because you may have missed out on this, even though they have been promoting the crap out of this.
Mm-hmm. They promote it every time they turn around, kind of like we were doing with Kiki.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta hustle it. I mean, hey,
how's the voice now, guys? I mean, how's it sounding? I mean, I hope it's a little bit better. I turned the noise gate, but half the time I don't know what the hell I'm doing anyway, so it's whatever.
So hopefully that bundle is still going. Of course, we'll be covering the obligatory 3 reveals in our segments tonight, and first, I think we should cover some Hearthstone updates. What do you think?
That sounds good to me.
You want to take this next part, Obi? I'm gonna verify. No.
Curse. See, this is where you screw me up because I don't normally do these sections, but I'll do it just for you, dude. You can do your thing. I just want to make sure they can hear me, though. Curse of Naxxramas came out. It's going to come out any day now, guys. But seeing how Blizzard never confirms anything, period, they always say, oh, yeah, it might come out. And guys, I've been playing WoW since it started. And every year, they're like, oh, it's not going to happen, or this is going to happen, and they don't do it. It's just going to happen. It's just regardless. I'm guessing really summer for 2014 means really September. Because usually when they say like a new expansion of World of Warcraft's coming out, they say to October, but it's usually November into maybe the 1st of December. So, I mean, they're always a couple months late, even a month to 2 months late, always. I've been playing since 2000 with Blizzard, and I've never, ever, ever had a game that I played came out on time or when they said they did.
Good news, Obi. There's still 3 hours left to take advantage of the E3 digital ticket from Twitch.
3 hours, guys. 3 hours. Get
for
it
people
right
watching
now.
live. And I'll say it comes with Civilization 3. I know that's gonna get Stan excited. Civ 3 complete, Anomaly 2, MX versus ATV Reflex, Smite Almighty Zeus bundle. Company Heroes 2 is sold out. They have an add-on for that. That's okay. I already have that anyway. Payday 2 Orc and Crossbreed Masks add-on. Magica Wizard Wars E3 Road add-on. It comes with all this stuff for MMOs, a Landmark, closed beta key, Eve 30-day trial, Warframe booster pack, and 1 month of Twitch Turbo. And if you pay more than the minimum, you get Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection. This is pretty good deal. So I wanted to make sure we shared that. So yeah, so Obi, what you saying? Yeah, they do usually run late, but don't you think with the Warlords of Draenor expansion for WoW, don't you think they're gonna want to release the Curse of Naxxramas before that comes out?
You would think they would, but if you see how Blizzard has gone when they have and this is just for the World of Warcraft. Now the Curse of Naxxramas, it could be because it's really not part of the story. It's part of the story, but it's not part of the immediate story like you would have with the Warlords of Draenor. They say it's going to come out in October. I'm telling you right now, it's probably going to be late November, early December before it comes out, just because it's just like that with every single game that you get from Blizzard. Now, there could be a time where they could prove me wrong, where it just comes on time or even comes earlier. It's not going to come early, I'm telling you right now. Heroes of the Storm is several months away from the beta, but we think that will they want to release it sooner or later? We ask you guys a question. When do they want to release the Heroes of the Storm expansion? There's just so many things going out. If you step aside for a minute, you're gonna miss it. That's just, Yogi.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like as far as the timeline right now for Blizzard, they already released what is it, Reaper of Souls expansion for Diablo 3. So that they didn't. Then they did the iPad release for Hearthstone, and that was pretty much like the official launch of Hearthstone because they did a soft launch when they went public with Hearthstone and took it out of beta, right?
Yep.
So they've been sneaking a lot of major updates for Hearthstone kind of out of nowhere. No release date, just kind of boom. So I think with the accelerated development they've been doing with this and dedicating more resources to it, and as fast as it's been growing, the fact that they're doing the tournament at BlizzCon, Heroes of the Storm is several months away from the beta. I think Heroes of the Storm is going to go beta. It's going to stay alpha until after the WoW expansion. So I think the window right now for the Hearthstone expansion, Christmas Next Ramus, is probably like we have a window about 2 to 7 weeks, I would say, because I'm really feeling good about July. I know other people that do podcasts and do blog posts about and have sites dedicated to Hearthstone, like Hearthpwn and Hearthstats, the Wikipedia sites, the wiki sites, and all that stuff. They're kind of leaning towards July too, because they already have revealed around 12 out of the 30 cards, but they've also been revealing like 2 or 3 cards at a time. So there's a very good chance that it's gonna come sooner than later, because then they'll do Christmas Next Ramus, and then they're gonna spread that out over a 4-week period, releasing new chapter or wing in the Curse Adventure each week for 4 weeks, right? Then they can release the WoW expansion, which people are foaming at the mouth for, and then they have enough time to keep Heroes of the Storm, which is their MOBA for anyone that's curious about that. Keep that in alpha for a little longer, and then move into the beta. So I think that looks like the overall development roadmap for Blizzard. But the latest I would say is August. They could do September. The very latest is September, but I think July, August feels good.
But don't be mad, guys, if they don't put it out in time, or they put it out late, because it's gonna happen. I mean, with whatever game you're looking for, whether it's going to be Curse of Naxxramas, whether it's going to be the Warlords of Draenor, or the beta for the Hero of the Storms. I mean, it's going to be late regardless. One of them's going to be. So don't be mad, but set aside some extra money so you guys can play that with us when they come out. Because I think I'm going to be getting Hero of the Storms beta. Yeah. Not supposed to say that. But
they've been inviting more people to the alpha. So
I got invited.
Yeah. So if you pester them enough, they'll eventually will send. And they did a new round of invites. So people should be getting in.
I only had to send them 16 emails. Please.
I tried to send them I sent them a goat head, and I don't think they responded that well to it.
You think?
I was getting desperate.
A goat head? Wow.
I want all my friends in on this. Everybody in Geeky Antics should be in on it by default. We mentioned Blizzard so much, especially here on HorsePLAY Live. We should get some love for it.
Hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's well, and the Sunday show we're gonna be mentioning Blizzard quite a bit as well. So.
Oh, there you go. Because I know you guys are gonna do a lot of heavy Diablo 3. There you go. Blizzard, pay attention. Free advertising here. But
Exactly.
so what else we got? So yeah. Also, if you guys aren't using Hearthstats, it's worth checking it out because they have some very interesting information there. Like you can see how the meta shifts, and right now at the top, Warlock, of course, because Warlock you can play like 3 or 4 different ways, and they're all viable. And Warlock even has some budget options, so I think Warlock is going to stay at the top in constructed play for a while. And Arena, he kind of sucks, but otherwise Warlock is the way to go. Rogue, I think, is number 2, or was it Shaman? I think Shaman was number 2 actually, which doesn't surprise me because you run Wind Fury aggro decks with Shaman and just go double dipping into someone's face, and it's pretty broken, especially if you run all the buffs, the Bloodlust and all that crap. Oh man. What's the other one? The Rockbiter weapon. I mean, Leroy Jenkins and Rockbiter weapon. Then you use a Wind Fury on him. That's like a 9-cost move. One turn you could put out like 18 damage if there's no taunt in the way. That's broken as hell. That's a game-ending move right there.
Well, you got characters like too, like the war golem and the with especially with a shaman, where you can get like the what is it, the fire elemental, and then buff him up with the rock biter weapon, and then another,
Oh, yeah.
give minions +2. You can have a freaking, and then give him wind fury on top of it. You can actually buff him up to an 11-9 and give him wind fury, and he's doing 22 points of damage. I did it last game against Missy. She got so mad that I didn't want to play her anymore.
Yeah, Shaman's gonna be. I was saying for a while before I even saw the HeartStats.net info. I said he's gonna be a top 3 play, and people are gonna realize how broken Shaman is, because Hunter was hot for a while, but Hunter's pretty easy to shut down if you understand what you don't want to do against a Hunter. Warrior runs out of steam. Rogue, they tend to run out of steam, and they're tricky to play. A lot of people are playing Rogue because Rogue, I think, is number 3 in constructed and number 1 in arena. Mage is number 2 in arena, which is funny because Mage stinks in constructed. But it's just interesting to see the numbers. I'm a numbers guy, so I like looking at to see like what's popular and try to go against the meta a little bit. Like Paladins now are kind of hot. But that won't last long because Paladins are kind of like the butt end of jokes.
Every joke.
Yeah, yeah, but they're still better than Mage, unfortunately. Mage is awesome in theory, but it's really hard to run Mage unless you have some really OP cards. But so yeah, previously we had mentioned, and this is another big update. We had mentioned that the Mage had a card called Rebirth, but it was actually a Shaman card. But then what's even more mind blowing is that Rebirth is not a Shaman ability. Yes, we know this, WoW players. And before, WoW, there was Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 1. Yes, we know. Shaman never had the ability Rebirth. That's the Druid ability. So they renamed it to Reincarnate. And its effect is still the same. It's to destroy a minion, then return it to life with full health. So this is pretty crazy because you could, trade and still keep a guy alive and bring him back with full health. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with this that's crazy as hell. But
Doesn't it have taunt on it too?
No, this is a spell that you cast on one of your minions. So it gets destroyed and then it comes back with full health. Basically a way to just heal him. But the thing that's cool about that, if it has a death rattle effect, you proc the death rattle. And then he comes back alive. Mm-hmm. Like what's that one rogue legendary that takes control of an enemy's minion, Generis, or I forget her name.
Genesis.
I forget. I mean, she used to be hot for a while, and then she kind of fell off because it's hard to get her to play in a time where it's really valuable because she takes control of a random enemy minions. But usually someone's gonna do a chump trade against her because she's only like a 5/5. Or something, or 5/6. Right. So usually people trade on her, and then you'll end up getting like a crappy minion or something. I don't know. It's random too, so it's hard to control like that. It's good if someone has like a Ragnaros, and then you suicide her into him, and that's the only thing they have out, because then you steal their Ragnaros. So, but it's a very tricky card to use, and that's the thing about Rogue is that it is like probably the most OP out there, but it's also the most expensive, and it's also the trickiest to play, I would say. You have to really know when to do those combos and when to kind of pull your punches. So anyway, yeah, so Reincarnate is pretty awesome, but I still like the Mage's version of it. Duplicate is a secret, and I kind of like, even though it only will proc on your opponent's turn, you're going to get, with Duplicate, you get 2 copies of the card in your hand. When the thing dies, when the minion dies, or something like that. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
Duplicates the secret where the mage puts it down, and it duplicates the card that the opponent put down.
No. This is a new Curse Max Rammus card.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. This is the new cards that are coming out from the set. So I just wanted to add to that, because I know we have brought it up. But if you go to Hearthstone.gamepedia.com, they have a whole Curse Max Rammus section that's pretty up to date. It's missing a few cards, but like I said, they've already revealed about half the cards, and that I think in a few weeks after they finish the reviews, it's gonna be like, oh, they might even do it before then because Blizzard. You never know with them. What are you doing, kitty? So anyway, community events and giveaways. Let's talk a little bit about this. Are you all squared away now, Obi?
Yeah. We're pretty good.
All right. Well, just real quick, we're assembling our official stream team. If you want details on that, the page is up now on Giantix.net stream team, and we'll be doing some dual streams with other streamers and stuff. What else? Yeah, kitty, I know. You know, you got the Yohtai, Yohtai for the Hearthstone players. We got, you know, basically any stuff you want to see, like we're doing as far as giveaways or game nights, things you could do with us in the community. Just check out the category community events and feedback. There's polls and all kinds of stuff you do to interact with us. So, Obi, for the past few weeks, you know, we're doing Man Crushes and Geek Girls and kind of giving some love to streamers. So, do you want to do it? You have any shout out for any streamer this week?
I don't, but I do want to give a shout out to a guy that I caught. Well, yeah, I guess I do. I haven't watched really any streams this week. I've been paying attention to of course, the EULCS and getting some good show notes for the Sunday show. But the one guy I do want to see, I see him on all the time. If you guys do play World of Warcraft and you guys do play PvP, you guys might know him. But Cone of Cool, I'm sorry. Dude, I've been watching you since I just stumbled onto your channel a couple years ago. So keep up the good work, dude. Keep ganking Swifty as much as humanly possible, dude. Keep it up. As long as I'm not online and I'm not on the alliance, don't gank me. I mean, we're supposed to be pals. So that's about it. You guys go check him out. It's Cone of Cool. Just how it sounds, just how it's spelled. Go check him out. He's on Twitch. He's got a YouTube and a Facebook page. So
cool. And my pick for the week is Enigma Games. And that's games with a Z at the end. And shout out to Neo Jake for spotting Enigma. Totally my kind of scene. He streams retro games, and last time I saw him, he was doing Super Mario Brothers. And the only thing I gotta send him on Switch. I forgot completely about that because he doesn't save. And a lot of Twitch people do this. They don't save their highlights, and so you look at their page and there's nothing there. You know, so make sure you save your videos forever, even if you don't make highlights, and then you can always go back and bookmark them or do highlights and upload to YouTube and all that stuff. But if you don't click on save forever, even if you have the auto archive on, Twitch will get rid of them.
And then the next day, so you need to do it right after you stream. I've been caught and I lost several episodes from that.
Oh yeah, it used to be like 3 or 4 days, but now
it's like 24 hours.
Yeah, that's no joke. I've lost a lot of good gameplays like that too because I forgot completely about it. I'll go on these serious gaming sessions and stream a bunch of different things, and I forget to go back into the channel and do the whole thing. And bad deal. But anyway, get engaged. You know, if you guys want to call in, we have the HorsePLAY Live account. Just search for HorsePLAY Live on Skype. And you can also interact with us asynchronously through 206-415-4987, our voicemail line. And if you're going to call in, please use headphones, not speakers, because the echo is OP. The echo is real, guys. It's a no-brainer. You call into a radio show, whether it's virtual radio or real radio station, you don't have your radio blaring, you don't have speakers on, you use headphones. It's just common sense, people. And you can get some for like 99 cents. No excuses. Let's do it. We don't have any voicemails this week. We can keep things moving along. You have any shout-outs, Obi? Before we go on to our features?
No, we'll get those shout-outs at the end when we do when we plug the rest of everything else.
Okay. I do want to do a quick shout-out, though, before I forget this one. Happy birthday to Sephoria. That's Cyphoria. I promise I would give her a shout out. It was her birthday today, actually yesterday, and she did a 24-hour stream. It's a brave new world when you do that kind of thing. There was one dude that did a 120-hour stream, and he was still smiling at the last day. I don't know how he did it. I would have been so bitter and tired.
Well, one of the first streams I did when I started streaming, if anybody knows, I did I used to do the try to, once a quarter, which is every 3 months, I used to try to do a charity stream, and the charity stream was I think a 96-hour stream. One of them was, and I couldn't do it no more. I had to say, okay, 96 hours ain't happening no more. We're gonna do a max of 48. That's it. 2 days straight's long enough for me.
Yeah, those charity streams are hardcore. I can't really do them yet because you know how it is. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and everybody's pulling me in every direction. Like today. Today is like I was pumped. I'm like 100 episodes for Gaming Death podcast. We're working on the beta site. I had a whole bunch of stuff lined up. I was gonna do some streaming to kind of prime the pump and let everybody know about the shows coming up tonight, and of course HorsePLAY Live. Even pimp out all games and all this stuff. And I got a chance to do like 35 minutes or 40-minute stream, which is nothing because certain people don't understand. Thursdays are off limit. That's my day. Don't ask me to cook or anything. But nope. There's always something.
AKA wife.
Yes. Love it to death. But I tell her this the one day. The one day. Anyway. So let's go on to our feature discussion. I don't think we're going to be talking too much here because I know, Obi, we talked about this. It's not so much you don't care about it, but you have really kept up because you've been busy. Well, I'm going to say I don't really care much about E3 this year. There was some interesting stuff, but it's more of the same. So we're going to get to this feature discussion. We're going to try to keep it positive because I know some people don't want to hear the negativity. We're not trying to be cool hipsters or anything. It's just, it's a transitionary phase between consoles. So you can't really expect too much right now. And that's pretty much what E3 showed us. But anyway. This feature discussion will be titled E3 Ho-Hum and Wee Wee. So here's our little recap. Yes, the recap of E3 2014. First thing I noticed, and I don't know if you noticed this, Obi, lots of movies. Lots and lots of movies.
Yeah, there's tons of movies.
Apparently, these guys, they feel like if they just show us some really cool trailers, we'll get excited about it. And there was very little gameplay. Some people were saying there was plenty of gameplay. No, it wasn't. It was like 80% trailers. Maybe it wasn't that bad. It was bad. There was a lot of stuff. Now, and I'm gonna explain why this is. This is what people don't understand. This is why I generally don't like E3. I think E3 is the least exciting out of all the conventions, certainly the gaming-related ones, because E3 is supposed to be about electronic entertainment, but it's really just about the gaming consoles. They barely talk about PC, which is sad in itself. But, the reason it's like this is because they're doing this for the investors, for the marketing people, and for the journalists. It's not really about the gamers. Certainly not the average gamer, the casual gamer. It's for like the really hardcore gamer that has way too much time on their hand and they don't have enough stuff to play somehow. Like they need more and more and more and more and more. Gimme. Because for me, and you too, Obi, I know you got plenty of stuff on your gaming plate to keep you busy. And it's like we don't need more of the regurgitated crap. Like all these annualized games, they should space them out further so we could look forward to them and miss them and then get more excited about them. But it's like every year new Call of Duty, every year new Battlefield. That's what happened this 3. They have Battlefield. What was Battlefield Hardline? It's Battlefield, but it's cops and robbers. They basically took Payday 2 or the GTA 4 cops and robber mode and made it into its own game. All right, cool. It's a cool game. It's fun in itself. Please don't tell me this is a full retail price offering. Nope, it is. That should be like a $30-$40 game because it just looks like something they just threw the Battlefield name on to get us to play it. Call of Duty came out. Or as I like to call it, Call of Duty. Like poopy. I know I'm immature, but they have a new Call of Duty, the Future Advanced Warfare, whatever. It looks a lot like a bunch of games. Not gonna even get into that. It looks great, looks fun. Definitely looks better and more intriguing than Ghosts, but I'm burnt out on Call of Duty. I'm gonna stick to Black Ops 2 for a while. So there's something that's so compelling that I have to jump on it, and I don't see that happening. Evolve did look very good. Now, I will say again, it reminded me of Natural Selection 2 and a bunch of other games that are available on the PC. But it's a neat concept. A bunch of players that are hunters against one player that's a monster survive long enough to feed on other creatures and get bigger and badder. So that's cool. So I actually think that game is interesting. It's gonna be cool to see that concept that we already see on the PC brought to the consoles.
Hmm.
Um, they did a Zombie Island 2 trailer. Again, I love Zombie Island. Wasn't crazy about it, but I enjoyed it. The trailer was better than the game, and I think this is gonna
Yeah.
be the same thing. Yeah, that trailer was amazing. And this trailer too. So Zombie Island 2 trailer was fantastic. The people that make those trailers know what they're doing. But again, no gameplay, and the game's probably not gonna be anywhere as near as cool or whatever. Whatever. Inside was a game that really intrigued me. It's it's from the same people that made Limbo, I believe. It's got that black and white, very stylized look to it, and it has like a really creepy, eerie kind of ear to it. I'm very intrigued about where the story will go with that. I'm gonna hand this to Sony. No Man's Sky does look really good. I doubt that's gonna stay exclusive for long. None of the consoles have any exclusives really, except for Nintendo because they're hoarding their stuff. So all this stuff that Microsoft and Sony was showing off are like timed exclusives or early access DLC, but eventually everybody's gonna have them. And No Man's Sky looks like the kind of game that'd be perfect on PC. It's a Minecraft with beautiful graphics and a very immersive world. It almost feels like it might be Sony's answer to Project Spark. So like that kind of make your own adventure. But Project Spark is more sandbox, create your own experience, your own game within the game. Where No Man's Sky seems more about procedurally generated worlds and exploring them. Like and it's got a really cool sci-fi feel to it. I think Trekkies would particularly appreciate it. Um, but it's funny. Sony went from showing No Man's Sky, which is probably their best game and the most unique game, and then they went on to show Entwined after that, and some other games. No, that was like they showed the file like one of the other games that the company that did Journey made. I forget what the name of the game was, but it was like beautiful graphics. Then it's like pew pew pew, and it's like, what am I looking at? What's even going on? I don't know. The most exciting thing to me overall in E3 was probably the ID at Xbox montage because all the indie games they're finally opening that up and trying to copy what Steam has done well. So that's cool. And they had a lot of interesting games there. People were talking about who won. Was it Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo? Nintendo had the best show. They were the most entertaining. The games themselves, intriguing. Not enough to buy the system, maybe, but some of them were curious. Like Splatoon looked interesting. Giant Robot looked like a fun, gimmicky kind of game for a little bit. You could play that for a few minutes, entertain everybody, and then put it away. Smash Brothers, Did you see anything at all that intrigued you, Obi?
I did. I did watch the Smash Brothers, which that kind of sounds kind of cool, but then it kind of sounds really, really charted because you're just jumping up and down, up and down, up and down, just to try to hit some people with your gun or whatever it is. Yeah, screw that crap. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the Assassin's Creed Unity coming out.
Yeah.
Like I was saying in Gaming Death podcast, I was just I can't wait. I'm one of those guys where if I have a game where I really, really like it and I can stream it and share it with other people, I'll play first person stuff all day long, or single player stuff all day long, especially if it's a really good storyline. Like you guys play Assassin's Creed, it's a really good storyline.
Yeah, albeit a broken and lots of holes because they're kind of making up as they go along. But that's a third person game because you see a character the whole time. Just to be clear,
you know what I mean though. Like as in like I was actually saying like single player.
But that's the thing that's beautiful about this. See,
it's not.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say, right? Mm-hmm. Because I love Assassin's Creed just like you, Obi, but I hate that they made it annualized because I'm burnt out. I'm still catching up on Assassin's Creed 3 and Revelations, which I hear are the biggest thinkers they made, but I still want to complete the storylines, especially for Ezio.
I started Assassin's Creed 1 again.
See, I've tried playing that again, and I know it had some really cool ending, but that game is rough to go back to, bro.
I know, but I'm getting through it because I want to play through everything.
Yeah, I might have to crack it up and crack it open and maybe play it while I'm streaming. So like at least I could pause in and chat a little bit on Twitch
Mm-hmm.
because that game is rough. Like they've improved so much after the first Assassin's Creed. 'Cause that first one was just very rinse and repeat gameplay.
Well,
Assassin's Creed 2, they finally I think got the formula right.
well, and that's what it was with it. Really, if you think about it and seriously think about it, that's all the Assassin's Creed is based on. It's all once rinse repeat, and then they're just in a different area, you know, like Black Flag. He was around a lot of pirates. Not Black Flag. Yeah, Black Flag. Unity. He's going to be around the 1800s Europeans, which is totally different from the 1600s that he was in the
Yeah,
last
before
one.
it was like Renaissance, then they did I think American Revolution, and now it's the French Revolution. So they're kind of bouncing around a little bit.
Yes, I mean it's basically they were assassins, and of course the Illuminati were back there. Back in the day, that's what it was. The assassins, and then the Guild of Assassins, against the Illuminati. But that's a whole different story to get into, man. I don't want to get
Yeah,
into that tonight. Seriously.
well, the cool thing about it is that they finally introduced a four-player co-op, and I think that's awesome. That's gonna make it a lot less of a grind to go through the game and have friends to play it with. Because that's the biggest problem with me playing single-player games is that like my friends know I see my friends online, they're like, "Hey, jump into this game with me." I was like, "Well, I'm playing the single-player game. Oh, I can't join you on that." Now you can say, "Hey, just jump in and join me on this." All right, cool. It's a lot more of a social experience. Um, so
Well,
that's what sets Assassin's Creed Unity apart for me.
right.
And they also made the parkour a lot more fluid too.
Well, and that's why I want to play that one because I mean, there's so much more multiplayer availability, multiplayer to where you can just say, hey, sorry, last time I was playing the last Assassin's Creed and you couldn't join me, but hey, dude, get on it and just join the party, or however you have it set up. So I mean, that's really going to be exciting to me because then, like you and me, we're trying to get as many like gameplays with fans as we possibly can. So that'd be a really easy way to do it, especially if they have the
Yep.
game.
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed Unity again cool, but again not a system exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sony's kind of I think Sony showed off the game too, and in their press conference on day zero, they showed off Destiny, which is a multi-platform kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
I,
that's pretty much all. I'm not gonna get too into it.
well,
But there is something for us PC gamers. Oh, go ahead, Obi.
go ahead.
Well, did you see the Alienware Steam machine?
Yeah,
Now I don't care. I think Alienware is overrated, and I think that
very much
everything they
so.
make, yeah, that stuff is overpriced. But this is actually reasonable. $550, fully upgradable gaming console. You have a cheap rig that's very powerful that you can put in your living room, and I think it's already a better deal than PS4 and Xbox One, to be honest.
Yeah, but do they have the same gaming features as the not features, but the same possibilities as Xbox or PlayStation 4?
Yeah, you can. From what I saw, it has built-in support for controllers. You can use a Xbox 360 controller. It comes with the 360 controller. You could upgrade it to the Xbox One if you want. You could upgrade it from an i3 to i5 or i7. And the specs themselves were really good. Remember, it's a streamlined operating system, so it's gonna run better out of the box than Xbox One and PS4 because those are bloated operating systems. You know, they got so much crap they're trying to do on there. So I know everybody's like, "Oh, 8 core," you know,
Well, I
whatever
wouldn't
it
be
was.
opposed to doing it, but you got to remember how many other people are going to buy it. How many people are going to buy it that are actually that you're friends with. When it comes down to it, how many people are really going to buy an Alienware Steam machine? Not many that I know.
But you could play all your existing games with your existing PC friends. The only thing is taking the PC experience to the living room. That's the only thing that's changing. You don't have to find new friends to play with. You know what I'm saying?
So you actually just play on a different console, but you could play the same exact games.
Yeah, because eventually everything's gonna make work on there. Anything that you have on Steam, that's a promise. Anything you have in your Steam library, you could play on the Steam machine. And the thing that was weird is that I don't know if it's still running Steam OS on the back end, but they were saying it's a Windows 8.1 system. I'm like, That was a little weird to me,
Well, what
but
I've seen out of 8.1, and this is where some of my problem came from, where I couldn't upload and update shit with my computer. But the 8.1 is actually really, really useful. It's really,
it is
really,
really good.
I really, really like it a lot just because it takes everything from Windows 8, the raw version of Windows 8, and it brings it back to everything is totally accessible now. You can totally change up everything. Before you couldn't delete things off of your Windows 8 screen. Now you can actually delete them and actually move everything around like you want to and everything. There's no bugs. I just love it. It's just
Well, I know that
it's on tilt.
people, I think, mainly just criticize Windows 8 because they did such a massive overhaul to the interface, and to some people it's gaudy. But the benchmarks are actually better than Windows 7, and it definitely leaps and bounds ahead of Windows Vista
But
and XP, whatever people are running.
the one thing I don't like though, is it depending on how you got your computer set up. If you're gaming and you have two screens, if you're gaming on the main screen, the Windows 8 is going to come up on that screen. So if you're gaming and you pull up Windows 8 to get, Skype or just whatever, you're going to be blue screened by the Windows 8. Kind of sucks. I mean, I think you can do it once you have the 8.1 patch. You can actually put like I have my taskbar on the other screen, but the one I'm talking on right now is my main gaming screen. So if I push that button over there on the other screen, it'll actually make the other screen Windows 8. So there's ways you can get around it, but I just think Windows 8 is going to be the new thing here very, very quickly. Like we said before, I hope Twitch doesn't get caught up into some stupid shit, but you never know.
Oh yeah, they got the same kind of interface on Xbox. They got it on the Windows phones. So I don't think Microsoft is abandoning this kind of approach to the operating system. But anyway, the Steam Machine, you know, it's interesting. I think if anything, whether you think this is a viable console or not, maybe PC gaming is not your thing. This might be the reason the for people that never got into PC gaming, they say it's too complicated. It's not a uniform experience. It's not easy to do out of the box. This could be the solution. But even if you're a disbeliever, you don't believe any of that stuff, I think the biggest thing to look at is the fact that this is gonna force the console manufacturers to finally make their systems more open. Like, imagine if the next generation of consoles or the next versions of the current gen or supposed next gen, you know, they make it so they're modular and you can actually upgrade them. No more releasing new systems every 5 or 6 years or less.
Or
you
two.
know, or two. Yeah, we've seen that before. Just modular system that you could customize and upgrade, but still keep that ease of use, that uniformity, so everybody gets a consistent experience. That would be the best way to go because then the systems could grow. With the and it's a better investment because that's the biggest thing with PC. Someone was arguing with me that said PC gaming is more expensive than console gaming. I'm like, no. The thing is, people look at the price tag of a console and the specs, and they say, look, if you want to build the same spec system on a PC, you're gonna spend 2 or 3 times as much. Maybe there's places you could get deals, but the bigger issue is all the hidden costs of gaming on a gaming console. You got all the DLCs, all the stuff they take out of the releases, so you have to pay for it later, even though it's already on the disc. Um, the online subscriptions, the season passes, all the accessories you gotta get because your controllers break down on you or whatever. All the proprietary stuff because you can only use their parts to do certain things. Whereas PC you have options, so you can shop around and get better prices, better deals. So the total cost of ownership of a gaming console is super high. Not to mention there's barely room for them to play with the prices on the games. Like, it's on Steam, Humble Bundle, you see tons of PC game deals all the time, even for new releases. You'd be damned if you see a gaming console, PS4, Xbox One, and a Wii U, whatever, come out with a game that's less than $59.99, or less than $49.99 even. Like, it's always like the set price. And then once in a while they'll do a deal, but it'll be like years after.
Right. Well, usually like PCs, the same version of the game, but the PC cost is only like usually $30.
Yeah.
compared to a $60 console game. And on top of that, okay, and I actually read the show notes, dude. So I'm actually gonna give you some. I'm gonna hit you with some knowledge. The actual cost of a console gamer, and I'm talking like the guy that buys it when it comes out, not doing what I'm gonna do in a couple months and go buy a PS3 and then a PS4 later, but it's the average cost for a guy that spends, okay, you spent $500 on your console, okay, so now you want two games with it, at least two games, because you don't want to play one to death and then be bored. So that's $60 a piece. That's 650, 500, okay, blah, 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 $700 right there, almost. 620. Okay. Anyway, $650 right there. That's now you want an extra controller. Okay. Oh, that's another $50. Okay, that's 700. You want a Kinect or a camera or something that goes good with it. You want a headset that goes with your console. I mean, you can get all the stuff cheaper, but you're looking at like between $800 and $900, and that's just with two games, maybe three. Okay, now I can go, okay, and tell my IT guy, hey, but I need a computer for $900. And I guarantee you I'll have a better computer than that console, and guarantee you right now I'll want to play my computer more than you want to play your console. Guaranteed.
And
now,
it'll last you longer.
It'll last longer. You can do little upgrades like with when my computer went down, I upgraded my RAM. So I mean I put another 8 gig stick in it. So I got 12 gigs. Yeah. It's supposed to be 16, but I got 12 gigs. I got a bigger power supply. I got a little bit better. I got another terabyte of hard drive space. Just little things that you can do, but that you cannot upgrade stuff like that with a console. Yeah, you can add more a hard drive space, but you can't add more RAM to a console. You can't add more processing speed to a console unless you just want to rip it apart and totally mod it out. Nothing else will work with it. You can't. If you mod out a console, and Yogi, tell me if I'm wrong, but if you mod out a console, you can't play online with it anymore. Is that right?
Oh yeah, and you avoid the warranty.
Whereas, so then everything you're screwed.
Yeah, and with Alienware, they said that they expect people to upgrade their own systems. It's not going to avoid the warranty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much more open model. So I think I really this needs to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are like mocking it, but it needs to succeed because it's gonna create more value, and it's gonna keep all the gaming companies more honest. Competition is a good thing, and it's gonna open up the things a lot more. Because let's face it, they're already losing money on the gaming consoles. They need to find ways to create value in other ways with all the consoles. And the other thing about PC is that you get more user-generated content.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an endless experience because people make their own maps, their own mods, their own patches, whatever. It's much higher replay value. Good luck getting that kind of community, that kind of replay value from gaming consoles. And I'm not knocking. I still love my 360, but I am not jumping on the Xbox One anytime soon. And I made up my mind. I'm still sticking with the Xbox One. PS4 and not for me.
And by the way, my Xbox 360 is going on. It's going up on eBay here tomorrow. So if you guys want it, get it.
So now Obi and I will never play any games together.
I'm getting a PS3, dude. I already
other than League of Legends.
Sorry.
It's all right. If you like single player games, that's the system for you.
Well, see, I'm like the best game that I've ever played in my life, and the one that I really want to play again was PlayStation 2. Was the show, Road to the Show 2009. Okay, I started playing it 2009. I went all the way to like year 2040 or some shit, and they made me retire. But it was just fun. I know, and PlayStation, that's one of the only games that I've ever known besides like Halo with Microsoft. But the only thing that I've ever known that PlayStation has exclusive rights on is the MLB baseball. That's the one game that I want to play that I can't because I have a freaking Xbox.
One game is not enough for me. It better be a damn good game.
I don't even like Xbox anymore, man. Microsoft is just crap. We're not talking
You know,
about this subject, dude.
my favorite thing about E3, as we try to cap off this segment, because I know E3 doesn't excite us that much, but again, we understand that people out there are interested in it, and this is our perspective on it. And don't hate us for this, but you know, again, this is something for the investors, for the marketing people, for the really hardcore, you know, gamers and journalists. For the rest of us, like, it's casual. But here's the thing. Microsoft got tons of flack for the whole Connect thing, and for the fact that they're trying to do all these little gimmicks and blah blah blah. But then Sony comes around and they start talking about their camera, and they start talking about Project Morpheus and blah blah blah. Their camera doesn't do even a third of what the Connect does. Okay, it's cheaper, great, but it sucks. Okay, it sold more. So what? Just because you have some really people, you know, people just made a big deal because the Connect was forced on you. If it was made separate to begin with, I bet you people would have bought just as many units of it as Sony got people buying the camera. But you know, they basically did everything Microsoft did last E3 this year, and then they just had the whole time they had these suits talking about games and acting like they're gamers, but they're like, "Oh, this is synergistic. This is the epicness of the equilateral, and this is the epitome of the experience for gamers, and we've pushed this many units and this million blah blah blah." And like it was just so freaking stuffy and salesy. So people can hate on Microsoft all they want, but Sony did the same exact thing that Microsoft did last E3, but worse. You know, and they barely showed. They out of all the presenters on E3, they showed the least gameplay. It was all trailers. Hey, movies. They showed something called Powers. It was like I didn't even know what it was after I finished watching. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is this? Is this a movie? Is this a cartoon? What is it? Powers. And I couldn't even listen to the guy talking because it was so boring. Like, well, Powers is like, you know, it's made by comic book guy. Blah 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 blah. Jetto Bully pudding pops. Woohoo! Yeah, it was a circus, man. So. But of course, no, dude. The thing is, it's just the hypocrisy of the Sony fanboys. Now they'll shit on Microsoft for something, but then they'll applaud Sony for doing the same thing. It's shenanigans. That's why overall I have no faith in consoles at all right now. Whether it's Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, but Nintendo hands down put on the best show. That was a fun show to watch, and they at least had unique games to show off. They may have been silly, but they were different, and I think that's cool. So I applaud them for that. And they even did a little thing, like, you know how they have the Skylanders toys where you can interact with the game. They did their own thing, the amiibos. You know, they had to do it. Disney Infinity did really well. Skylanders did really well. They're still doing well. So they jumped on the bandwagon, and that's what Nintendo does well. They do family gaming and toys and accessories very well. They're still decades behind on the online gaming experience, but they'll get there. That's it. I'm sorry. I just can't stand black. Like, it's good. It's all right to be a fanboy. I'm a fanboy, you know, when it comes to certain things, but don't be the kind of fanboy that's a hypocrite on top of it. It's like, no. That's where I draw the line. Like, when it comes to consoles, I'm a Microsoft guy all the way. But for now, PC Master Race. It's safer, and I get more bang for my buck. And I don't, you know, get treated like a redheaded stepchild. But anyway, so we go on to the next feature discussion, Obi?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. Okay.
Now, when I read this earlier, Yogi, and you guys are going to find out about it in a second. When I read this feature earlier and read about Halfway Town, 2-4, the 6th bullet point, you didn't even need to put her name in it. But that's the perfect... She says they're always sexist, no matter what she says. I said hi to her. Stream looks great. She called me a sexist pig. Really? Okay, fuck you then. I don't care. Feature number 2 are sexism allegations. Is it the new hipster fad?
Uh-oh.
Huh?
I had a temporary internet dip.
Yeah, me too.
Was that you too?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Huh.
The internet temporarily went out. Okay, we're good.
Basically, our sexism allegations, the new hipster fad. Because I'm telling you right now, every time I go into, and I go into a lot of streams a lot of times, And sometimes it'll be, she'll just be playing, but she'll be playing with a group of friends or a group of guys that she's playing with, or, and it's about girls. That we talk about girl gamers all the time. But it's to the point where now, if the girls, a lot of female gamers, and I'm not dogging on you guys because I love you guys all the time. It's basically sitting there, and while they're trying to play a video game, somebody says, "Oh, they look nice," or of course somebody's a sexist pig and come out and says, "Oh, hey, can I see your tits?" Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever. Put a ring on my finger and you can see them all day long. Yeah, sure. But then when she comes down and she's expecting somebody to say, "Hey, nice tits, nice rack." Well, you put them out there. Of course they're going to say it. Don't come back and say, "Oh, you sexist pig," or "You are a sexist blah, blah, blah." Well, you're a hooker. You're a hooker flashing your shit on stream for a sub for $5 a month. So what are you? That's the definition of a prostitute if don't know one myself. I mean, really think about it, Yogi. Tell me what you think, dude. Seriously.
Well, this is my thing. It feels like it's the new cool thing to do, to call everything racist or sexist. It's like that's the card that everybody has to play. And there's definitely discrimination in the world of different kinds, but there is greater disparity in other areas than amongst racial or gender groups. And it's been proven by research that there's other kinds of discrimination that's far worse. The word hipster itself, it's like an all-encompassing word that we use to describe things that we don't understand, and just have to, since we don't understand it, we have to disagree with it by default. But the notion is that if you're a hipster, you basically don't like mainstream stuff, and you have to go against the grind. You kind of go against the status quo. You have to, disagree just for the sake of disagreeing, or create controversy for the sake of creating controversy. So I've been noticing this a lot. It's like, automatically, if you have a falling out or disagreement with someone of the opposite gender, and of course, only works towards women. I mean, it can't be sexism towards men, which is BS. Because sexism, just like racism, it's a mutual way. It works across all ways. There's people get discriminated against white people just as much as you discriminate against black people or Latinos or whatever, or Asians. Guys. Yeah, those Puerto Rican guys, they're dirty bastards. Don't mess around with them. Mm-hmm. They smell funny.
Amen, brother.
I'm Puerto Rican, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. That's why I'm saying that. But, it just boggles my mind that the default right away, because you disagree with someone as a person, you're being sexist. But if you go into a stream, and this is we've been on the Twitch stream thing because it's what we do, is part of what we do for a living. So it's relevant to us. Mm-hmm. We go into a stream and someone's showing cleavage deliberately, and the camera is angled so that it shows it off perfectly. The lighting's just perfectly set up. Their video window the video window, I can't talk today. The video window is like, almost a third of their entire display. So that's how they put it full screen.
You gotta make sure you get the hair off the chest.
Yeah. And then they're doing that purposely. They're adjusting themselves constantly, pulling down the dress, and then they get mad because people are making sexist remarks, but they're drawing it themselves. But not just that. It's just in general. I think people, why don't we talk about the other forms of discrimination, right? Like the fact that it happens to men too. For example, if you're a male streamer and you go and you start up a channel, you're doing the grind, you're doing all the right things, you may not get the same kind of attention because you don't have those gimmicks to work. That's a form of discrimination. People are glancing over your channel because you're not of the opposite, the female persuasion.
I'm getting ready to make.
What do you think, Obi?
You want to know what I think? Guess what, guys? Coming up on the Obi-Wan X2 show, you're going to have a bunch of girl gamers just streaming because I want to make some money. That's just how it is. I'm going to have my wife and her best friend. I'm going to have them get on this stream. I'm going to have them sit right here at the desk where I'm at right now. They got a green screen behind them, and I'm just going to have them play a bunch of things. And I'm going to have them wear slutty clothes So then they're going to do this like 3 or 4 times, 5 nights a week. So I'm going to have them wear slutty clothes, make sure my wife's, boobs are hanging out almost all the way. Make sure the other one's got really slutty short shorts on, and make sure that, the guys will come in. And then once that happens and Twitch says, hey, these girls are streaming and they got 1,000 viewers every time they stream, let's give them a sub button. I'm making some damn money. That's what I'm going to do.
And let me tell you, I know for a fact, and I love the guys at Twitch. I know some of these guys, and I've talked to them. But I know for a fact there's some people that get the sub button just because they're female.
Yeah.
Because they have less viewers. That maybe they might be nasty people, but they're getting the sub button. They're becoming Twitch partners. And I know male streamers that do great shows, have high production value. They engage their audience. They're nice guys, and they don't get the sub button. And it's like, okay, so you can make an exception for someone because they're female, but not the other. So that's the other side of it. And it really boggles my mind. It's like, if you're gonna talk about discrimination against women, you also got to talk about the other side, because this happened the other way. Guys don't go into a bar and get free drinks.
Well, that's just how a woman. I mean, that's just what a woman is. But when it comes down to like the bar, yes, I don't agree with that shit, man. Not one single bit. But when it comes down to the bar stuff, I mean, that's just what women have been doing from day one for the last 1,000 years. They show off a little cleavage, they get a free drink. It's the same thing with Twitch. I wish.
Or they get bumped up to the front of the line in the nightclub.
I really wish that the board of people that decided who got Twitch buttons actually had a few women on it, actually, because if they did, they would be a little bit more non-biased to everybody. Because really, they're taking advantage of, okay, this chick right here, and I'm gonna throw her name out there, dude. And can I skip down to that dot point right there, that bullet point?
Yeah.
Okay, Casey Tron effect, guys. This is the Casey Tron effect. Okay, the Casey Tron effect is, I'm going to wear a slutty shirt, and I could give a damn if she's listening to this right now. I hope you are, because you need to check yourself. Seriously. Wear a slutty shirt. Make sure your boobs are hanging out almost all the way. Make sure your hair's out of the way. And then basically tell people to, stop messing with me. I'm going to cry, and then actually literally cry. Okay, and then come back and say, "Oh, thank you. I thank you for telling me I'm pretty," and then say, "Well, yeah, you got nice tits too." Well, you're a sexist bastard. I just heard it like less than an hour ago. Seriously. Oh, you're a sexist bastard. You're an ass. Really? Stop putting your skanky ass out there, and you won't have it out there like that. Yes, that's why she got a sub button. She had a sub button. She only streamed like twice. Dude, I'm serious. She got 2 streams, literally, and she got a fucking sub button.
Oh, I know, dude.
And she's a pro gamer. Okay, yes, I'm a pro gamer too, if that's all it takes.
And it's, sometimes it's not what you know or what you do, but who you know. That's part of it. But, it's much harder. Like, even with me, I'm talking to Twitch, said, look, I have tons of followers on Twitter. I do marketing for a living. I get paid to do this. I build websites. I know, I do podcasting. I have a network. I want to step my stream up, but I really would like to be a partner first before I know it's worth really my time and putting that effort, because people take you a lot more seriously when you have that sub button. So sometimes you have to have that sub button first before you can really step up your game, not the other way around. And knowing that people are getting those exceptions made just put on the basis that they're women, not because they have skill in the game, not because they have an established audience, not because they already have a really big YouTube channel, just because they're women. It makes that's discrimination. But I'm not going, that's sexist. I'm just going, that's messed up.
I really wish Renee Bones was here tonight. I really do. I would tell her.
I
would say get on Skype right now. Because this is, I mean, to hear it from her perspective, yes, I can be the nice guy and say, come on, guys, we don't look at her boobs, we don't make comments like that. Bullshit. I'm sorry, I do it too. Like, when I log onto a stream and I go, damn, she's like freaking half the whole freaking screen, and she's just sitting there listening to music and, just talking like,
yeah, I've never really played League for a week, but yeah, do you like my stream?
I mean, that's really what it happens. I mean, really, that's all it is. They show a little cleavage. They show a little, and I guess really, I can't really be mad at chicks, dude. You can't really be mad at them because guess what? They're using their shit to their advantage. Okay?
Oh, I know.
That's what women
You
do
know.
all the time, 24/7, whether you're married or single. I guarantee you, your wife, your girlfriend, even a chick you just met in the bar, they're going to use all this shit to their advantage. Has everybody heard the power of the P? I'm not going to say the word, but the power of the P. You guys know what I'm talking about. That shit's true. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now, I won't.
The P
Because
pass.
I won't because I got Sally and Ann right here, so I don't whatever. But it's to the point where if she says jump, you're like, how high, ma'am? Oh, because you want this shit, right? Because you're gonna do whatever I say if you want this. That's just another whipped dude. Grow a set of balls, jerk off a couple times, and tell her no.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not mad at any. You can't get mad at a group or generalize. But I think people need to really open up their mind. Like honestly, I know there's dudes that get into this whole sexist kick and feminism stuff because they want to get laid. They're being so insincere about it. It's like, yeah, that show really is sexist. Or those people really are sexist. They mention TNA too much. Yeah, that's wrong. It's like, no, come on, stop it. We all have that inkling. Be authentic. Just have a filter. Don't be all about that kind of
I
stuff.
swear, once I get big, Yogi, and once we get big enough to where we can actually just start something and people watch it, I'm gonna start a man show. Okay, I'm telling you right now, not one chick in their right mind, unless they just love us to death, is gonna watch it. I'm telling you right now, because it's gonna be titties and ass all day long.
Well, see, I'm on the opposite side. I want to get together with a bunch of women because when we have these kind of conversations, people listen to this right now because there's men having the conversations. That it discredits the whole thing. It's just like if we were talking about racism, and if I wasn't a Latino and we were both white guys, they'd be like, oh, it loses credibility because neither one of you understands the struggle. No, we understand the struggle, and actually we understand the struggle in different ways.
Hold the horse. Hey, motherfuckers, I'm the minority in this country.
That's true.
Shit.
You really want to think about it.
You guys are oh yeah, the white guys. Yeah, white guys. What? Screw you.
Well, not to mention, you guys don't have.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say you guys don't have a white entertainment network. Like if that became a thing, everybody be like, that's racist.
Exactly.
But there's BET.
And Soul Train. That's a weekly show that comes on still. I seen last Saturday morning. Really? Come on.
Yeah.
If it was like, all right, White Train, they're gonna be like, oh, you're just racist bastards. No, I don't like Obama because he's black. I don't like him because he's a freaking retard.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't make comments against minorities or certain small groups because then all of a sudden the default is, oh, you're being whatever. You're being discriminating. You're a bigot. It's like, oh, come on, stop it,
and then
guys.
you think about it too, and we know so many people, Yogi. We talk to a bunch of people. We're constantly trying to get more gang members. And I talked to a guy the other day, and it was a black guy playing stereotypical. He was playing a console, and he was playing basketball. I was like, dude, how long have you been playing basketball for? He goes, dude, I actually just started playing basketball like 2 weeks ago. I said, you didn't play it when at the park when you were a kid or anything? He goes, no. I played football and baseball. It's like, he goes, why are you saying it like that? I was like, because you think about it, 90% of people are going to think, okay, you're a black guy and you're playing basketball. Well, and he goes, well, hold up. Are you white? I said, no, I'm black too. And he goes, okay, well, then the struggles to, just because they stereotypical. I said, do you always get stereotyped about you like fried chicken too? I said because I got a white buddy that he loves fried chicken more than my black guy friends. So to me it's not. I don't really care what color you could be. Fucking purple as far as I concern. But if you play games and you're a geek just like me, I don't care what you are. That's just go. I'm gonna rant about some stupid shit and just waste time.
Well, the question I have for our audience is, how many people do you think are authentically concerned versus those that are just looking to build a niche or just be cynical about everything? Like everything has to be an altercation or a debate, and we're talking about sexism mainly, but racism, whatever else, because it seems like it's just a fad. Like people are just trying to be cool. So they're playing that card often just to get that attention. But how many people are realistically seeing an issue, and being honest about it? So call in, tell us what you think. 206-415-4987. And again, we're not trying to be mean-spirited. It's just I feel like there's so much bitterness in the world. Why does everything have to be a race war, a sex war? There's so much more. There's so many more conflicts and challenges we have to address beyond what we're born into. It's stupid because every person's different. We don't become molds of things and people just because that's what we're born into. There's so many things in our world, in our communities that mold us. Experiences that we have. And basically that. Why aren't we looking beyond these labels? Certainly gender is not a good label because I know a lot of women like if like Obi said, if Renee Bones was here, aka Princess Kitty, shout out, she would say it too. I get annoyed by a lot of females because they act crazy. They are attention starved and they do this.
They make bad names for the actual real girl gamers.
Yeah, and again, it's not all of them that are like that. But if a woman is saying that, that tells you there's something wrong. But if you talk about it, now we're being sexist, we're being chauvinist. We're not open-minded. It's funny because in the process of trying to take on a righteous position, we actually become part of the very problem we're trying to fight against. It's like people that say things are racist all the time, but then they hang out with only their own kind, or they have their own stereotypes, like all white people are like this, all Latinos are like this, all black people are like this, whatever it might be. So it's like, well, you can't say there's an issue with X, Y, and Z and then do X, Y, and Z yourself. And that's really what we're talking about here, just the hypocrisy of it all. I think the bigger issue is that we need to stop adhering to these labels and just, realize that it's a case-by-case scenario with everyone. We have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Just because something seems racist or sexist doesn't mean it is, What do you think, Obi? Because you literally you look like you're bubbling, like you're about to burst.
I've already said what I want to say. I mean, really, to tell you the truth, I guarantee you, if the female gamers, and the reason why they do what they do, okay, is any woman that's really right-minded, they're in their own mind, is going to see Twitch as a moneymaker. Twitch as a, this is what I can do if I just show a little bit of skin, make sure I don't show any dollar sign, any circles or anything like that. I can just show a really cut low shirt and then push him up when I need to and then face the camera down at him as long as it can see my face. It's really, nothing wrong with it. They already know it's going to work. So when it comes down to it, and me and you talked about this a couple weeks ago, Casey Tron it's a show. I mean, yeah, she's really freaking crazy, but it's a show on what she does. She cries on demand.
Yeah.
She cries to get money. That's what she does. That's her niche. That's how she does it. That's the one thing that she does. Unfortunately, she shows that girl gamers are either one freaking huge freaking crybabies that can't take subjective opinions, or that she's just doing this just to make money, which that's what she should be doing. Yes, I don't believe all girls are crybabies because they're not. I'm going to say it right now, a.k.a. Renee Bones, Princess Kitty. She's not a crybaby. She takes if she dies on something or she fucks up, she say, hey, sorry, I fucked up. But that's what being a gamer is. I'm telling you, guys have heard me before go on rants and rants and rants about a real gamer is not somebody that just buys everything. Well, a real gamer is not somebody that just flaunts your fucking... Oh, woosah. All right. I got to calm down.
See, that's another good one. I want to talk about that real quick because I think we brought that up before, and that's something we've kind of touched upon several times. That's actually going to be the title of an article because that's another thing. This whole notion of you're not a real gamer if you don't do X, Y, and Z, and that's something that women do have to deal with. But it's not just women; it's men too, and it's not a sexist thing. It's just a sort of fanboy, closed-minded thing. Like, oh, you're not a real gamer if you don't own all the consoles, or if you're not a real gamer if you don't have a console. Like, if you there's this notion that if you only do PC games, or if you only do certain kind of games, like I play a lot of Hearthstone. Mm-hmm. Oh, why don't you play some shooters? You're not a real gamer. It's like. I like multiplayer games. But I tell people, oh, I don't like Uncharted and all those things. I'll watch them. Heavy Rain, I'll watch it. Last of Us, I think was overrated, but I'll watch it. But it's not the kind of game I want to play. Not the kind of game that hooks me in. Like, oh, you're not a real gamer, really? By whose standards?
Well, by that person's. And like I said before, we've had a feature on this freaking shit before. Like I said before, it's not what you play. It's how you play it. Okay, like I said before, you could take that 150 different ways. We can have chats blow up right now, and we could still not answer all the questions, but what it would cost. It's not what you play. It's how you play it. You could play a freaking Game Boy first gen. Okay, if you're not sitting there sinking in a bunch of freaking money into it just to pass the damn thing, you're not a gamer. I'm sorry. You gotta pay money just to pass something. Then you might as well just go buy a freaking shit. Go start a movie collection because you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go. You don't want to do the difficult parts. Yes, I understand if something's so difficult and you want a little help doing something. Of course. What gamer doesn't want some help when they're in a tough spot?
Yeah, exactly. And I think people understand that. It's not just looking for handouts. We take this seriously because it takes a lot of resources. You need to carve out the time. It's taking you away from other things that can make you money. It's taking away from family, from work. You need, but it's something that requires work nonetheless. It's not just turn on the camera and start the stream and then done. You got to prepare. You got to promote it. You got to find ways to engage your audience. You got to plan out what kind of games you're gonna play. Maybe if your niche is, maybe your approach is maybe trying to be better at the game so you attract more people. You got to practice a lot and train. There's a lot of things involved, and everybody has a different kind of gimmick. Some people might be cleavage. Some people might be just being really good at the game and winning a tournament. Other people might do giveaways. Other people might just be humorous. Other people might just be really quiet and chill, and people might like that chill environment. Like people love Crip. He's also really good at Hearthstone, so that helps. But he's like super chill. He doesn't really talk much, but when he does, he's kind of like, yeah. So I got this the Argus Defender here. I'm gonna drop him. Oh yeah, he got him. He got him. You know. So everybody's got their own approach, but it all comes back to being authentic about it. But I just hate that whole thing, like everything is sexist, everything is racist, and then there's so close-minded to say that kind of stuff, and then you go, oh, you're not a real gamer. Like it's all part of the same kind of discrimination that everyone experiences, regardless of sex or race.
Right.
We all experience it in our own ways.
Right. Well, and then you're gonna get it regardless whether you're playing console, whether you're playing this, or whether you're just playing like a an old gen kind of type game. I mean, you're going to get it regardless. It's basically who's trolling you at this time and what are they saying. That's all it is, guys. I mean, it's not something, yes, we can have come in here, and God forbid that this happens because I don't want to piss her off, really, but, somebody goes off and says, well, Casey, they were talking shit about you, blah, 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 and her blow me up. I could see it happening, but I could see it really me coming to her and saying, who are you again? Because I really don't even care. Now, if she was something like, yeah, I heard you were talking shit and this, and this, and I would come back straight away and say, yeah, I was, because I think you actually, no, I won't talk shit about her because she's utilizing what she has to make money. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, she's got a shtick. She's got a little routine she does.
Oops, and cries.
Where she
stop picking on me, guys.
Yeah, but she trolls the trolls too. She gives them ammo. Like she picks on people too, and she she comes off kind of cocky. It's all an act.
I'm stressing out right now.
Yes, I think I'm stressing. Okay, guys.
Cry.
Okay.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's all an act, but I think she's a cool person, but it's just she's adding to the toxicity of the community by doing that shtick. It's like, and people are eating it up. People rather have that kind of experience than a place where everybody gets to talk to each other. It's not just about, it's not just about a good Twitch channel shouldn't be just about the people in the chat doting over the one person streaming. It should be a communal thing. That to me, I think, is a good Twitch channel. But people eat up that toxic, caustic kind of stuff. But just to at some final points here. There's a couple of articles I saw that were relevant to this discussion on sexism. Actually, three, and I don't know why I did that. But one was on a Tumblr called "Death of Rats." They talked about Transistor's silent protagonist and how the fact that they kind of touched upon it a little bit, and it was a lot. There were a lot of comments on it. They talked about how Red, the protagonist in Transistor, is silent, but it doesn't make her any less of a strong woman. So I thought that was cool, and it was a very good discussion, and that it actually was pretty positive and constructive for the most part. I don't remember actually anybody being negative at all in that. So Death of Rats on Tumblr. Then there was an article on Crack talking about the six sexist video game problems that are even bigger than bras or something like that. I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I could give you that. And there is a lot of stuff that caters to the men, jiggly boobs and exaggerated anatomy that doesn't make sense for someone to have if they're fighting or spinning around or whatever. I get that. That stuff definitely exists. But we also have guys wearing tight pants and bulges and Speedos and stuff, and I don't want to see that, but I'm sure that some women appreciate that. So there's stuff for everybody out there if you're into that sexualized stuff. So I think there's equality there. It might be a little skewed right now, but there's something for everyone out there. But then, the Transistor was a game that came out so much often for feminists, and I've found nothing but a bunch of positive reviews by women that love the fact that the characters are female and all the stuff. That they enjoyed the experience, and it didn't make it about. The least thing that they actually focused on was the fact that the protagonist was female. They liked that part, but it wasn't the biggest thing to them. They focused on other parts because they realized there's more to the world than gender wars. It doesn't matter if you're born with a penis or a vagina. I mean, for Pete's sake, a vagina is pretty much a penis anyway. It's just a smaller penis.
Innie.
It's an innie.
It's an innie.
I'm kidding, by the way. People were like, "That's offensive. That's sexist." You're trying to bundle us with men. I'm just saying we're all alike. We just have different parts, and even those parts aren't that different.
We don't care. I don't really care.
But we'll move on. But those articles are out there if you want to check it out. The crack.com articles were interesting. I think they're just feeding the fire further, but they make some good points. But there's always counterpoints, and I feel like people should listen to this regardless of the fact that we're not women, because we have tons of female friends. We have female contributors on Gang. They're just really busy, so they can't be out with us on every show that we do. But they say the same thing, that they find some of the stuff that women do very annoying. And it's not all of them, but there's a good amount of them doing it.
Right, well, and that's just, they got to deal with it too. Like I said earlier, there are just some people that are ruining it for others.
Exactly. And again, I want to reiterate this. We're not taking broad strokes. We're actually saying the opposite. Don't take broad strokes. Judge every person individually and give them the benefit of the doubt. Because there's, I'm Puerto Rican, and I know lots of Puerto Ricans that I don't like. And I don't like them by default. I don't hate them by default. I just judge them individually.
High five, Yoke.
High five. Which way are you? Over here?
Thank you.
Okay, this way. All right. I didn't have the thing up. But, so some deals with cheap bastards. We talked about Star Command, the game, StarCommandGame.com, which is free to play. And if you like FTL, that's worth checking out. I still haven't checked it out, and myself, I've seen some gameplay. Mm-hmm. I think I played a little bit, but I haven't played it that much. I'm gonna try to stream that soon. Steam. Still, people that don't know what Steam is. It's basically Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or Pogo for the rest of the world.
Steam. What's Steam?
You know what Steam is. SteamPower.com. Lots of great deals, tons of great games, and a community built in. Awesome. Free to play this weekend. I don't know what's free to play. Do you know, Obi?
I do not.
All right. But there are deals. I did catch deals, and I did my research on that. Rogue Legacy, one of my personal favorites, 66% off. I know Soldier loves that game, too. Sabi's not here. We miss you, Soldier. You should tell him I said what's up. I barely catch the guy online anymore. Such a ghost.
He's online right
GTA
now.
4. Is he on?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what's up. GTA 4 Complete I call it complete. It's not really called complete, but basically GTA 4 and all the DLCs for $6. Civilization franchise. Again, this is for Stan Farina. The Civ franchise up to 75% off. And Civ 5 is now on Steam OS. So they're doing stuff there, guys. They're making moves. Don't sleep on those Steam machines. And then Resident Evil's Revelations, 50% off. And The Ship, which is a very interesting game. It's kind of like Trouble in Terrorist Town for Gary's mod, but it's its own standalone game, The Ship. It's a kind of whodunit kind of thing, survival, fun party game. It's kind of hard to describe. If you check it out, it's a really fun game to stream and watch.
Kinda
I like.
Risk.
There is a certain degree of risk because it's not a board game, but it does have a sense of risk. Whereas if you go in on someone, it might be the wrong thing to do. You might attack the wrong person, literally, and then it'll mess you up. So it's and then risk does have that dynamic where it's like I shouldn't do anything. I should play defensively right now and see what everyone else does first. So it does have that aspect, but that's about as far as the similarities go. The Ship is just like a 3D third-person game view kind of game where you take on different roles and you have a target you have to kill, and then you're someone else's target, but you don't know who's hunting you, and you don't know where your target is. So you have to kind of casually look for your target while being aware of everyone around you to see if anyone's trying to come after you. Get it?
I do get it. I'm reading some other stuff. Sorry.
All right. So for the Xbox people out there, I love the free games on free games with gold are it was Dark Souls, then Street Fighter 4, or actually I think it's still Street Fighter. I think it's still Dark Souls for a limited time, and then it's gonna be Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, which is the latest version until Ultra comes out this summer. Other sites to check out: CheapShark.com, SlickDeals.net, HumbleBundle.com. Don't forget, if you're listening live or just happen to catch this in time on YouTube or something, whatever, you have like an hour or two to do it. I just bought it right now while we were doing the show. Origin has this thing called On the House. They have games for free on there for the PC. Worth checking out. I'm going to check that out. It actually looks like it's legit. And right now, I think I saw... was it The Sims 3 that was on Origin for free?
Yes.
Something like that. Was it? For retro style games, you have Abandonia, which is abandonware stuff that is not licensed anymore. No one holds the license to it or rights to it anymore. You can get for free. Abandoned software. And then there's Cool ROM, where you get a bunch of ROMs. Be careful. We don't support piracy, but that is an option. BestOldGames.net is similar to CoolROM.com. And that's pretty much it for your deals. Good deals for cheap bastards. Also, your freebies as well.
Right. Well, and we do want to make sure that we tell you guys we don't condone piracy at all. I mean, there are plenty of games that are completely free due to the abandonment and licensing to developers and whatnot. Now, the sites that we just gave you, I did link them in the chat, but use these sites at your own risk. I'm not telling you that nothing can happen. I've never had a problem with any of these sites, but I'm not saying it can't happen. So use your sites at your own risk. Do we have time for any indie watch? I don't think we do. We got about 8 minutes total. 10 minutes total.
Yeah, we can say it real quick, I think.
Okay.
We don't have too much on there. You want to take it?
Sure. Recapping some of the indie games we have mentioned in the previous episodes, of course. We are big supporters of Armada Online. If you guys haven't checked that, you go to armadaonline.com. You guys can go check that out. Rogue Legacy, which Yogi is just a huge fan of, and I'm going to try to check that out too as well. Risk of Rain, Hammerwatch, Wanderlust, Rebirth, Broforce, and of course League of Angels. I was getting ready to say Legends. And then I do have it. Yogi does have it. Space Engineers. We are going to do a play date on that sometime to see how fast we can go or how far we can go. Rogue Shooter, Transistor, Hack and Slash, Rogue Shooter, and of course FTL, Star Commander, Starbound, and Cortex Command are some of the ones that, I mean, they're just the old school games that you've either played before, but if you are an indie game player, you're going to love these games. So go check that out as well. How many of these have you played, Yogi? I mean, have you played all of these? Is that why you wrote them down, or is this stuff that you would want to play?
Most of these, I think I'm going to get Rogue Shooter next. Transistor looks very interesting. But again, I try to focus on games that have high replay value. So I think that's the kind of game you beat it and then you're done with
Mm-hmm.
it. Hack and slash also looks really cool. I put Rogue Shooter here twice. That's how much I'm curious about it. It's like Borderlands, but it's a roguelike. So you die and that's it. So and it's procedurally generated, and even the drops, the weapons are randomized. I think it's really neat. But like we mentioned earlier, I was really stoked to see all the stuff they had on the ID at Xbox montage at E3. Like I'm just really excited about indie stuff. Now, these are not Microsoft exclusives. They're gonna probably be on PC and PS4 and whatever else you play, Wii U. I'm just excited to see so many great indie games coming on, and they're stepping up their game. Like, whatever. Okay, go on, carry on. If you're gonna be like that, punk. Go ahead.
Well,
No, you want to?
don't stop. You were talking. Don't stop,
No,
baby. Don't stop. Keep going. I'm almost
no,
there.
that's all.
I'm almost there, Yogi. Please.
That's all. That's all I got. You took me out of the moment. I'm trying to show some love to our indie developers, the little people, the small
I was
studios.
picking on the chat.
Sure, there are crickets in the chat right now. People have gone to bed. I mean, there's still people in there, but they're lurking. There's a bunch of people in there, but they're lurking. We see you guys. But yeah. So I don't know. I like to see that. I've really been into the indie games, the likes, the strategy games. That's the stuff that excites me right now because it's high replay value, good bang for your buck. I'm not dropping $65 on the game plus the price of DLC only to be disappointed by the game and end up not playing it at all. The wall of shame that you get with gaming consoles. Ugh. So that's why we do the indie watch every now and then because it's a good way to get that bang for your buck and get a little variety. And also, I know some people like to have Bro Force. We're gonna try to do a gaming night with that, maybe for Retro Friday. I know people that have Bro Force, and I'd like to play that online multiplayer. Yeah. But anyway, you got anything else, Obi?
I do not. I really, with my indie watch this week, I really haven't played much. I did get Age of Empires. I did break that out of the chest today or the other day when I got my computer back up and running. And I've been playing quite a bit of Xbox games lately. I know, but I'm looking forward to, and I'm really excited about my PS3. So. Yes, it's a PS3, and it's whatever. But Yogi, the other thing I didn't say to it, but is I'm getting 2. So I got you one too, buddy.
Yeah, you're full of it.
Okay.
You're being serious?
Whatever. So now your wife gets a gamer's survival kit, and you were gonna get a PS3, but you don't fucking want the damn thing. But okay, whatever. I know you have an Xbox. Why do you think I thought about you, man? I thought about that shit just for you, bro. And you're telling me I'm full of shit? I quit.
If you did get me a PS3, I'll play it with you.
I don't want you to play with me anymore.
And I got the PVR. I can hook it up. We can stream it together. Yeah. We got plenty of games on the PC to keep us busy.
Exactly.
Because I've been updating stuff. You should get that $2 humble bundle. You get the Smite bundle in there.
We'll see what's going on. Let's keep the conversation going, guys. We want you guys to leave us a voicemail at 206-415-4987. And, of course, email us at mail@geekyantics.net. Please keep it short so we can play them live right here on HorsePLAY. HorsePLAY Live is everywhere that you can get podcasts. Leave us some love, guys. Show us a review. Give us a favorite. Subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, guys. It really helps out. More listeners means bigger promotions and i.e. giveaways and community play dates. Also, give a ton of thumbs up on Stitcher. Appreciate it, you guys. We really appreciate the thumbs up on Stitcher. It shows us that you guys are actually listening and actually want us to put out more content. Search results. The more thumbs up you guys give us, the more the search results will actually show us that, hey, we want to go here and we'll be up near the top. So keep that in mind, too. Big shout-out to our flagship show at geekyantics.net, the Gaming Death Podcast, which celebrated their 100th episode today, which is just amazing. So congrats to you guys. Big shout-outs to you guys. They'll be over at the Twitch over at Gaming Death on Twitch every Thursdays right before HorsePLAY, and of course at 9 o'clock, and of course they simulcast on Geeky Antics right before us as well. So we are super stoked to have Chris, Dawn, Caleb, and Hollow, and of course Dawn's the one I picked for that. And I'll tell you. We'll tell you about it later. Chris was so mad. Chris is gonna cut off my legs. Okay, but we'll talk about that in a different date.
That's his shtick. That's his shtick.
Yeah. He's I'm gonna cut off your legs just because I chose to be, whatever. Anyway, we also should note that they do talk about things beyond penises. I was on the show today. They do it. So Chris, just giving you a hard time, man. We have to. I was told I didn't. I was gonna get fired. So it's my boss right over there. But anyway, next, check out our friends at A Worthy Opponent, 42 Level 1, Gaming History 101, the B-Team Podcast, R9Cast, Knuckleballer Radio, Pixelated Pints, Zombie Cast, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Fantastic Forum, Sega Nerds, and the Costuberous Doctor Who podcast on the All Games Network. Gang, don't forget to check out, of course, the Death Gaming Podcast, and, of course, the next one that's coming up, the Sunday Dose at 9 a.m. on Sundays, because it is for EU guys. So if you guys want to check that out, support us there. We'll be right here back on Geeky Antics at 9 o'clock Sunday morning. Of course, it's all good. But let anybody that you guys show up, you guys go over to allgames.com. Go tell them that Yogi and Obi sent you from HorsePLAY, and they'll treat you just like one of the extended family. So appreciate you guys. Much love to you guys at All Games and of the All Games family. Coming up episodes, you guys tell us what you want to talk about, since the releases are rather stale at the moment. They're few and far between. We want to talk about, we're going to stick to League of Legends, Hearthstone, both NA, and then, of course, on the Sunday morning show, we're going to be really hardcore into the League of Legends scene with the EU. So you guys, like I said, don't forget to check that out. And, of course, which I think Yogi has some, do you have any information about your new show coming up at this point in time yet?
So yeah, I'm probably gonna wait till the new site comes out and get that out all squared away. So maybe within a week or two, I'm gonna try to do that. I also need to coordinate with the co-host, because I don't want to do a solo show. I mean, I could, but it's fun when you have the dialogue. And a lot of the things we'll be talking about in Bit by Bit Gaming are issues that gamers deal with, the game mechanics, the behind the scenes stuff of gaming. It's gonna be a different kind of show. I think it's gonna be fun.
And yes, guys, if it's still right on, that's where you're gonna find your girl gamer right there. I think isn't Renee Bones gonna do that with you?
Yeah, it's gonna be Renee Bones, Stan Farina, and basically it's gonna likely be a rotating cast of hosts, because everybody's got a bunch of stuff going on.
Right.
So we're probably gonna have a stable of, like, by the time we're done, we're probably gonna be like 6 to 8 hosts that are gonna be rotating.
And more than likely, he's probably gonna invite me at some point in time to be on their show, but he's gonna be on mine as well. So we really appreciate you guys, everybody that wants to just show us so much love on all our syndicates on Stitcher, iTunes, and even allgames.com. We really appreciate it, and really we love you guys. Everything helps. Also, keep the conversation going right here on Twitch community. Is going through some big changes, guys. We're doing some really big things with our website. YogiZilla is actually doing he's got an alpha up the website right now. So I'm actually gonna go see it probably tomorrow and kind of let him get a few more stuff done. But everything is coming, guys. So we want you to make sure that you guys leave some. I just lost my spot. Let us know that you think of Google's latest moves on the future of Twitch. We do want to know. Leave us a voicemail, 206-415-4987. We do want to know what you guys think on the possible purchase of Twitch by Google. So tell us what you think. Give us well, he's highlighting things and I'm losing my spot. But tell us what you think. But let us know. Tell us what you think. Leave us a voicemail, guys. If they're good, we'll put them right here on HorsePLAY. We don't have any guests. We don't have any plugs, but we do want to say one more time, Gaming Death Podcast, congratulations on your 100th episode. And, of course, E3, we'll see you next year, I guess. I don't know. Yogi, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, that's it. Just make sure if you listen to allgames.com, much love to All Games League, including Sean Freeman and the rest of the awesome people out there. There's a bunch of you show love to, but we got to wrap this up. But B Team is coming up next at 9 p.m. Eastern. And be sure to hang out in the chat room by clicking on the live button on the allgames.com website. And then you can join all us crazy mofos on IRC.
Yeah. But guys, thanks for watching. This is Obi1X2 right there. My cohort, partner in crime, YogiZilla. Guys, don't forget to tweet us all through the week at Obi1X2 at YogiZilla. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.